welcome to Polish with Ray. I'm Rachel and today I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite black nail polishes. Before you get started, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you're excited to see what my favorite black polishes are. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure you do so you don't miss out on future uploads. So I actually had a little bit of a hard time picking out my favorite blacks in my collection. The way I had to do it is I had to imagine someone was taking all of my polishes and they said you can only keep 10 blacks. What are they? And these are the ones that I would keep. I think you're going to see a little bit of a theme with my picks. I love black and hollow, so there's going to be quite a bit of that. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with the amount of variety I have. I have some gorgeous, gorgeous picks. If you've missed the videos prior to this, I did share my favorite whites video, which I will link up in the cards. And I also posted my favorite gray nail polishes. So we're going to take a look at bottle shots for each polish as well as swatch photos, and I picked 10, so let's take a look. We'll start with my cream pick first. I've tried to do that with every favorites video, is pick one or two of my favorite creams in that color. And my favorite black cream is definitely KB Shimmer Total Eclipse. This one is a pretty much one coat black creme polish. Also let me know if you say creme or cream. I say cream. I know a lot of times it's supposed to be creme, but I just feel weird saying that. But anyway, KB Shimmer Total Eclipse is the black cream, the only black cream that I need. I've actually gone through 2 bottles of this. This is my second bottle, so I guess I've gone through 1 bottle of this. But I hardly ever wear black creams ever. I'll wear them sometimes under toppers, but honestly not very often. And I've had other black creams, you know, enter my collection, and I've, in most cases, ended up parting with them because I just like this one more. After you've used it just a little bit, it is definitely a 1 coat black. If you overwork it, sometimes maybe you need 2 coats, but it dries really quickly, so what else can I want? I also love KB Shimmer brushes. They have a beautiful paddle brush, so it's so easy to work with, very wonderful to apply, and I love this black cream. My mainstream pick, I only have 1 of those in this video, comes from Zoya. It's Zoya Storm. Storm has a black base. It's not like the blackest black base, but it's a black base and it is full of holographic flakes. So I love the hollow flake finish from Zoya, and I have most of them. This one's my favorite. Well, I do really like Merida, but this one's still my favorite. I just really love, which you will see in a second, the way hollow flakes pop against a black base. They create such a beautiful like galaxy nighttime look, and it never gets old for me. This one also has a really good formula. It's opaque in 2 to 3 coats, and yeah, I just think they did a really good job with this polish. I think if I decanted it and put it into an indie nail polish bottle, I wouldn't blink an eye. Like, I would not second guess myself at all. This is, to me, almost indie level quality. My next pick is from ILNP and it is Cityscape. Cityscape has a black jelly base and it is packed with scattered holographic flakes. So I told you we're gonna see a little bit of a lot of this finish in this video. I just can't get over the combination of the black flakes with the holographic. It is magical. But I love Cityscape because it does have more of a jelly base. It definitely takes 3 coats to build up, but once you get it there, it dries down really shiny. And the hollow in here, although they are flakes, they are pretty fine. They're definitely smaller particle than Zoya's Storm. And so it just kind of gives a more twinkly rainbow effect. The flakes in here are definitely a little bit more rainbowy and vibrant than the flakes in the Zoya, and they are so beautiful. I think when I wore this, someone commented that it kind of looked like TV static, and I have to agree, and I'm all about it. And continuing on with the black paired with the hollow flakes, the next one is called Axite, and it's from Stella Chroma. Stella Chroma Axite has a little bit of a warmer black jelly base or crelly base. It's got holographic flakes that are on the larger side, and then it has shimmer that shifts purple to gold to maybe green at extreme angles. So if ILNP, Cityscape, and Zoya Storm had a baby, it would be Stella Chroma Axite with some added shifty shimmer. It's got those bigger, large particle flakies that Zoya Storm has, but it has that beautiful jelly finish, curly finish that I love so much about ILNP Cityscape. So it builds up in 3 coats, it dries down super shiny and squishy, you get some dense holographic that's very rainbowy and super noticeable. And at extreme angles, you get to see a little bit of shimmer too. I actually wore this for the first time last fall and it gave me total baddie vibes. Like I felt like I could do anything in this polish. Side note, the maker Pam from Stella Chroma said this is her favorite polish she's ever made. So there you go. The next one is quite a bit different, but it has holo too. It's from Bluebird Lacquer and it's called There's Some Crows in This House. This one is a black shattered holo, which Bluebird does that finish amazingly, and it's got intense shifty shimmer that shifts red to copper to gold to green. So this is actually the polish that I'm wearing on my nails now. I've been wearing it for 3 days and it felt so good to put on my nails again. It was fully opaque in 2 coats, really opaque, but you can still see all of that holo in there. Like it sparkles beautifully. I will say the shimmer looks a little bit more intense in the bottle than it does in real life in some lighting. Like in here in my nail room, I don't see a whole lot of that red. I can see some subtle sparkle, I guess. But yesterday when I was driving, it took my breath away. It was so glowy and intense. So you can't fully appreciate this one unless you're in some brighter lighting, but man, it's gorgeous regardless. Like in the lower lighting, you still get some holo sparkle and twinkle, but then in the bright lighting, you get intense holo sparkle and lots of shifty shimmer. Up next, we have Cupcake Polish Checkmate. Checkmate is described as being a black jelly base and it's packed with metallic silver and silver holographic micro and small flecks. So I'm always surprised that this one is described as having silver flakes because honestly in the bottle to me, they look gold. And I absolutely adore that combination. There's something so regal about the black base. It's just rich, it's mysterious, it's classic. And then those goldish silver flakes just add a lot of sparkle and twinkle. I actually didn't realize until looking up the description that this one had any holo in there, so it must be on the more subtle side, and those silver flakes definitely steal the show. Up next is an older Wildflower lacquer. This one is called Dreaming of You Tonight. This one has a black or blackened base. It's got shimmer that shifts purple to pink to gold to green, and it is loaded with holographic pigment scattered, I think. So the holo in here is very, very fine, and the shifty shimmer takes the lead anytime you're not in bright lighting. So in brighter lighting, you get that beautiful rainbowy holographic, and then in lower lighting, that shifting shimmer really grabs your attention. This one had a really beautiful jelly finish, but they were 3 squishy kind of on the sheer side coats so that the end result was really plump and juicy looking. As you can tell, this is an older Wildflower lacquer. It's an HHC polish, so I'm not sure she can bring it back, but it's one that I would love to see return to the site sometime. 3 more. The next one is from Bee's Knees Lacquer and it's called the Black Lion. This one has a deep, super duper dark, like honestly truly the blackest base other than KB Shimmer Total Eclipse, the blackest base of anything I'm sharing with you today, and it is packed with some metallic flakes in a variety of size. I see gold, silver, and I think some of that silver takes on a little bit of a blue color in the blackened base. This is one I haven't worn for a while, and when it kept popping up in my mind when I was thinking about what are my favorite black polishes, I knew I had to include it. Again, I said this last video and the one before, Bee's Knees Lacquer does flaky curlies really well. They do them rarely, but when they release them, they are never fail one of my favorites from the collection each time. So I need to make sure to grab them in the rare case that they release them. But this one was just formulated beautifully. It was also on the sheer side, so again, we got that squishy buildup when it was applied in 3 coats. It was very dimensional and super squishy. And with those flakes, you got a really pretty pond effect. Sometimes black polishes, you know, kind of conceal some of the elements. Like you can't see the shifting shimmer that well or the flakes that well unless they are really, really sheer because of how dark the base is. But I felt like this one was a happy medium. It built up well, but you could still see the flakes beautifully. And I just find this polish to be so unique, like the gold, the silver, and then like I said, how some of the silver flakes take on more of a blue tone because they're in that black base. This one is stunning. Up next, we have Colores de Carol Crazy for Colores. This one is a red to black multi-chrome. I had to include at least one of those, and it has beautiful shifting multi-chrome flakes, or maybe they're ultra chameleon chrome flakes. They shift red to copper to gold to green. So I just love how the shifts in the base really go with the shifts in the flakes for this one. Like, they shift together. When you see that black base, you see a red flake. When you see the red shift in the base, you see a copper or gold shift in the flakes. They were made for each other. I also feel like this one is so super shifty. Like, all of my black to red multi-chromes are really similar. If you missed my red to black multi-chrome comparison video, I will link that up in the cards. But this one won that competition because the flakes just are so beautiful, and I feel like the shift in the base is really noticeable with this one because it's a little bit more on the sheer side. I will say I recently wore this again and I wasn't in love with the formula. I felt like I could still see a little bit of my nail line showing through in 3 coats, but luckily for you, maybe you already have a black to red multi-chrome in your collection, and maybe you have a topper that shifts red to copper to gold to green. If so, try pairing them together. That should dupe this polish pretty well, and I hope you love the effect as much as I do. And my last favorite black should be no surprise to anyone. It comes from Cuticula, and it's Dragon Glass. Dragon Glass has a dark jelly base and flakes that are intensely glowy. I see blue, green, red. Oh, it's glorious. I think everybody who's watched me for a while knew this was going to be in this video. It's another one that I've worn several times since it released, and I can't get enough of it. The flakes are just bananas. They're so glowy and so intense. They look like glass. Like, every time I wear this, I have people comment that my nails look like stained glass. And who doesn't want that? Like, I want that. Yeah, I think the proof's in the pudding. I have a backup of this polish, and I have very few backups in my collection. I just don't need them. But this one, when it returned for Polish Pickup Rewind, I had to grab a backup because it's one I never want to be without. So those are my favorite black polishes in my collection. Let me know down in the comments, which of these did you love most? Are you a black polish lover? Honestly, a couple years ago, I would have said no, and I would have had a really hard time picking out 10 black polishes that I even liked, let alone love. But I've really fallen for black polishes lately. Like, I just feel like they look so great on everyone, and they just feel so classy and fun and serious and mysterious. All the feelings with black polish. Let me know down in the comments too what your favorite black polish is, because I'm always looking to add to my collection. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.